Oh my goodness, finally managed to track down two golden girls, not one, but two. We have Hannah, this way, Hannah this way, and Eilidh this way, the final gold medalists in the 470 class for the women's class. Firstly, I mean, has it sunk in yet? What are you up to? How has the aftermath been? I mean, Hannah, Hannah, let's start with you.
I don't know if it's sunken in. I don't think it has, to be honest. The aftermath's been amazing. Like, we've had some amazing parties, catching up with friends, family, the usual stuff. But also, like, it's always weird after the Olympics because it's over and you've been in this amazing environment, and then you're sort of back home. Your goal's gone that you've been sort of thinking about non-stop for the last however many years, and yeah, it's just a bit weird. There's nothing necessarily to wake up for that gets you out of bed. So yeah, up and down, but mostly just amazing to catch up with friends and family.
Oh my goodness, yeah. And I noticed a golden post box in your suburb that you posted on social media. Eilidh, anything as interesting as that, or is it just your voice that's the souvenir?
No, I've not had a golden post box. I'm just not enough of a legend as Han. No, same as Han, really. It's been wicked. I mean, as you can hear by my voice, I've had a bit too much fun. So no, it's been a great few weeks.
I think that fun was so well deserved. And now we're going to have a little bit of a look back. Here is a photo from earlier in the regatta before you were leading. I think some may think that it was an easy run for you, but you sailed incredibly well in really tough conditions. I think this is race 8, and it was from race 8 where you really had to start getting into the Polish. And do you want to talk me through those tactics? Because for those who may not have been there, they may not have seen just how tough it was for you guys out on the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, the Olympics is always a funny regatta. You've got lay days. It's unbelievably stressful and nerve-wracking every day. And I think it was day 3, so sort of race 5 and 6, which was really light winds, really tricky. And we came away with 2/3 just before the lay day. And I think us and the Polish had pulled away from the rest of at the end of that day by a fair few points. So we went into that lay day I just felt like that was the first time I could breathe and just go, okay, I can relax now for a day before coming back for the final push. And yeah, the days after that were just all about the first day after that was all about consistency and just trying to not get a discard yet, because we had the best discard. I think it was 7th for us versus maybe for the Polish. And so yeah, get 2 counters and then the final day could be a bit more interesting for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you sailed that regatta beautifully. As you said, tricky first few days, you just kept chipping away, and then you came into the final day.
We had we were drawn to points, so we were very far from over, and we had a really good discard, like Han said, so we felt like we just needed to go out and execute the first race really well, which really didn't really go to plan. But fortunately, the other 2 were with us, so we stayed with them, and we managed to pull away and actually get a pretty good result again, which meant that we had gained a bit of a gain, and we just went into the last race and tried to attack it. We spent that whole of the last race scared we were over the line. So that was
and
a pretty awkward.
I was watching on the tracker. It did look like you'd match raced them just a little bit. Were you keeping them under your wing or unintentional?
So because we thought we were over the line, we purposefully stayed near the French because the whole race we were contemplating, do we need to sail them back past 9th in order to keep the distance? And we were discussing it the whole way around. Do we need to try and take them back further because we're nervous about the points now? Where we had extended, we thought we might have lost them with that 9th. So no, the whole race, but we just kept going back to, I'm sure we were behind the line. we just had such a phenomenal start, and on the last day it doubts start to seed into your thoughts about what could be.
Yes, what could be. Firstly, I'm going to show you this photo, and I'm going to send this to you off air because this is amazing. This is the medal race, and you can see the Swiss out in front there, and you're second with Mount Fuji over the top. And you sailed an incredibly conservative but smart medal race as well, always covering those behind you. It was just a perfectly textbook executed regatta for those who are watching from the shoreline. You basically put second away in races 8 and 9 and 10, and then the medal race you could be a little bit more at ease. Talk me through then what happened at the end. I mean, I was celebrating for you from the SPP box, commentating to the wall, and then as the French crossed the line, I was like, hang on a minute. They're going to go them for teams racing here. And the other commentator's like, what? And I'm like, look, Hannah's in the coach boat. The French they're not. What's going on? I mean, and can you talk me through that emotional roller coaster as well? I mean, I don't want to ask you about it, but if I don't ask you about it, I'm going to get in trouble off everybody who's watching. So, Hannah, I mean, when you got put into that coach boat to go and talk to the jurors, I'm suspecting, can you talk me through that roller coaster?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things that firstly, I was just really shocked and quite sad of what was going on, because it was one of those things like you're so focused on doing your job and getting around the racetrack and securing that gold medal, like however secure it might seem to anyone watching, it never feels like it's done until it's done. Down that last run, I sort of finally felt like we'd done it. I just wanted to get around the mark, out the way of anyone, and get across the finish line so we could celebrate. And unfortunately, we had a great bottom of the run tactically. We got a bit out of position, and a couple of boats got inside us. And annoyingly for the French, that was the Polish girls. And yeah, it's never a place I wanted to be getting involved in, because it's you just want to leave it to be up to whoever the fight to fight. But we were there, and yeah, there's not much we could have done about it. So yeah, crossing the line, I think we were just obviously really happy we'd won, and then that happened. And I mean, I knew it was fine, because
there's lots of vision of you guys hugging.
Yeah.
I mean, but talk me through then what happens when you're like, hang on a minute, because then everybody's saying to me, why are they crying? Do they think that they did something wrong? I said, no, they're crying because someone else could think they did something wrong.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like for Eilidh, it was really emotional. Just because, it's just like what is going on, There's so many emotions in just winning and being there, and so it all kind of comes out regardless of what's going on at the end anyway. And I mean, I was I was stressed, but mostly I was just a bit upset about the whole thing, because I just thought, how could they think that? I've raced against them for 12 years, and it's always been, I mean, there's a lot of respect for those girls, a lot of respect for all of our fleet. And so yeah, it was more just, I felt a bit hurt by the whole thing. But I get it, it's racing, and there's a lot on the line, and people can't necessarily see from where they're at what's going on, and the red mist can come down maybe. I don't know, I wasn't in their boat, but people can, you can always see things from a different perspective. But it was tough, but I kind of knew fine, because we hadn't intentionally done anything, but it's just stressful, isn't it? It's just stressful.
100%. And I managed to see you guys after the medal ceremony to give you a hug, but I'm meant to say victory ceremony. I get in so much trouble. I saw you guys after the victory ceremony and managed to give you a hug. But I mean, I think you've been a bit vocal about it, Hannah, after the fact as well. And again, I have to say congratulations, because for me, your regatta was textbook. It was beautifully sailed. I also think that Agni and Yola sailed beautifully as well. So what great competition to come down to the wire with them. And I think that what we can see from the outside, even with you two, because you've sort of documented your whole journey on Instagram for those who may have followed you. It's just so many ups and downs through COVID to actually having the event cancelled. Are you going? Are you not going? To on the race course to, oh, are they protesting? Are they not protesting? I mean, to winning the gold medal, to getting home and going, oh my gosh, what do I do next? I mean, it's a pretty tough psychological gig for athletes that people may not realise, especially this cycle, Eilidh. I mean, and I'll show a fun video in a second so that we can get a little less serious. But I mean, it was awesome to go on the whole journey with you two.
I think maybe me in particular, I have shared a lot of the emotion of the journey online. It is not an easy thing being an athlete and going through it, and also to change your, I went on this journey of changing my perception of how I wanted to be on the race course, and changing my relationship with competition, and also just nerves, being able to embrace them and use them and harness them in a way that was positive. That's something I've really worked on this cycle. So for me, it's 100% been this journey of emotion, and then on top of everything else that happened that made it even harder. So yeah, no, it has been a really crazy journey, and I guess, like Han said, the end of the regatta was just an added bit of emotion that hurt us both, to be honest. But I think as time goes by, we just sort of realise, everyone has to do what they need to do at the Olympics, and if that's how you feel, then you have to roll with it. And we know we did nothing wrong, and that's all we need to know.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's important in your heart, because you guys have walked away with the gold medal at the end of the day, and that is representative of not just that race, it's representative of the 5-year quad that will forever be remembered, and all of the effort that came before it. So I think
it's hard to come back as it was, let alone when it turned into a 5-year cycle.
Exactly. I know. Well, I remember speaking to you, Hannah, last year during the lockdown, and we focused more on the Big Plastic Pledge. You were struggling after Rio to work out whether you'd go again. You met Eilidh. It's a fantastic combination, and then that quad just kept getting stretched. Now you're the most successful Great British female sailor of all time. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's it's completely mental when you say that. It is completely mental. Yeah. I guess every quad is different. Every Olympic cycle is so different, and there's so many different challenges, and so you're just thinking about that one. You're not thinking about an accumulation of all of them. So when you say that, I'm like, it's been such a mental, amazing, hard journey. But yeah, I just feel really lucky, especially this time around, with everything that happened. Just feel so lucky to be able to compete in Japan, and to be there with the rest of the 470 fleet. And yeah, I think that was the vibe in the boat park. It was quite different to other Olympics, because everyone did just feel like, wow, we're here. It's happening. This is amazing, which was really, really cool.
And I am personally going to miss the 470. I mean, you guys were obviously super emotional. You eventually got to have your hugs in the water, which were well deserved as well. But on the podium, there was a very real knowledge that this was the last time that we would see the 470 women on the podium. This wouldn't happen again, at least in the foreseeable future, so to speak. So that's a bit of a legacy as well, and I could see that in that image there, Hannah. You're looking up at Yola as well. Two nice tall crews on either side of you, which is quite fun.
I know.
Look at that. I love it.
Yola was so emotional.
Both of them like, whoa.
Oh.
Yeah, everyone was actually. It was really nice, and we had a nice moment, French girls, when we were all waiting to go up on the podium and stuff, and just I hugged it all out. And I think everyone at that point was just like, wow, we've all done it, we're here. This is amazing.
Oh, that's so good, and I'm so happy for you guys. And if anybody hasn't seen it, please head to Eilidh's Instagram, because the facial expression reel that you put up, I know you had a laugh at your facials there, was fantastic. But I can't let you go. I have gotten this one up for you guys.
Yeah.
This
Go
is
on.
probably the most watched video ever from an Olympic Games. What? I mean, really? Did you ever think that this video would be the most viral thing
I'm just like, if I'd have known that was going to go so viral, I could have posted it years ago.
I know.
You could have worn a bikini, Eilidh. Then I think I'll vibe on.
I made it so much better.
We should do take two or something. Like, literally do it in front of your TV or something with the video in the background. Like, look, it's the sequel.
Like, I on TikTok, and because I commented on that video saying it's me, I now have like 1,000 TikTok followers. I've never posted a thing, and I'm like, I need to make it a good one. What's gonna be a good post on TikTok?
That facial video is getting there.
I have spent most of our training time when we're doing pumping intervals with Eilidh giggling, because it is just so funny, just watching her bouncing around.
I know, and I discussed it with the guys because there was a lot of criticism of it. I mean, but it makes the boats incredibly physical, and when we're going to a mixed class now with the 470, I mean, it's good to know the girls can, match it in terms of pumping with the guys. Eilidh's got it.
Yeah,
in that
too right.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so good. Now, I'll let you go because I know I don't have you for long. Hannah was late because she was doing a beach clean, like the awesome legend that she is. I love it. No, I think everybody should be late to interviews because they were doing something sustainable. How good would that be? I would be so happy with that. But now I have to ask you takeaways from the games and what's next. I know that everybody will be wanting to know. Eilidh, let's start with you. Are you going to go again? Are we going to be seeing you finding either a male skipper for the 470, or will you be taking these pumping skills to another class?
I will definitely keeping those well-honed skills in the 470.
Good.
But I'm not 100% convinced. Yeah. I would say I'm quite far from 100% convinced, if I'm honest. I feel
need your voice to recover first, and then you'll be able to say yes.
I know. I feel so unbelievably proud of our performance in Tokyo, not just for winning, but the way we were in the boat and the way we worked together, and the way I've come on over this cycle, well, over my whole career, but particularly I feel like I was finally the athlete I wanted to be at this Olympics. That a bit of me is like, I could just end there. That would be cool. So I don't know.
Do you think that was the secret to the combination? Was that emotional pathway? Was that what you, in your mind, is that what you think helped with the gold the most?
I would never have not had an emotional pathway. I think that's the thing. I'm a very emotional, passionate character, and I've seen a lot of my tears over the years, and I just think I think what I did was I managed to control it and channel it in a way that was really powerful, and I just felt like I had so much control over myself at the games that I don't know, I feel so proud of that, and the way I performed, that I do feel really like, okay, that's cool, I could be done.
Oh, I think that everybody is so proud of you, and probably no one as much as Hannah over here. She's seen you come a long way. Not that you didn't have success right from the start, but winning a gold medal is a very different thing, as I'm sure you know, Hannah. I mean, what a way!
Yeah, the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Olympics is always different. Everyone says, "Oh, it's just another regatta," and it is. But doing the things you do at just any other regatta is that much harder because it's the Olympics. And so it isn't. And yeah, like Eilidh was just phenomenal at the games. Like just a not different because she's always brings her A game, but just like, yeah, as she said, like the emotional control and channeling it into the right things. And like, yeah, like I think Joe, our coach, and I were just so proud of how she was in Tokyo. Like it was amazing, and it just made my life easy. You know, I could just focus on the racing, and Eilidh could focus on her racing, and we just, yeah, it was just cool. You know, we had each other's backs entirely, and it was never sort of anything other than positivity in our boat about what we were trying to do and how we were going to try and do it. And I think the British sailing team at this Olympics probably excelled. I mean, they always excel, but this was something else. I think in the circumstances of COVID and what the environment they managed to create out there was just incredible. You know, it was such a cool thing to be a part of. And yeah, I always think this at games, but you know, the athletes in the team that haven't achieved their dreams and haven't medaled, the support they give to the other sailors once they've finished is like just mind blowing. You know, how people manage to do that when they're going through one of their toughest times. Yeah, it was a really special team to be a part of.
Oh, and you could see that as well, how supportive you were of one another. I think out of the 10 classes, there was only one sailor who didn't make the medal race, and that was Elliot Hansen. He was just 2 outside. So all of you made your respective medal races, and then, you know, most of you were in the top 5, and then I think 5 medals out of 5 classes, which is incredibly an incredible achievement, and 3 of those gold. So I mean, it's obviously an understanding of the pressures and what's involved with that team, which was just beautiful to see. And your first, Eilidh, I mean, I think maybe that's one of the reasons why your voice is yet to recover. You had such a good time with your team.
I really hope someone doesn't offer me another drink in the next few days.
I mean, but can you say no? I mean, you're a gold medalist and they're saying congratulations. Isn't that rude?
No, I'm happy to be rude now.
Okay,
it's okay.
She's done her dash.
I can't help that. I've been there. I've been strong the last few weeks.
Oh, I love it. And then, so what's next? Eilidh's going to have a good think about it, and she's going to say no to alcohol. Hannah, I mean, we've seen you on social media having a great time with the wing foil. You were at the Sail GP on the weekend. So many things in front of you.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm going to do the next 2 Sail GP events in Saint-Tropez and then Cadiz, which would be really cool to get stuck in with that, and hopefully try and push the women's program forward there, which would be great.
Amazing.
And then yeah, there's lots of things on the horizon, lots of options, which is really also, it's quite hard to decide right now what you want to do, because yeah, your head's kind of everywhere, you're tired, you're emotional, but yeah, I think definitely a lot of sustainability work will continue for sure, and then it's just what sailing I do. Yeah, so we'll see.
Awesome. Well, you have to check out the Big Plastic Pledge, which is Hannah's charity. Have a look there. I'm going to bring that up on the screen now, so everybody needs to go and follow that. You need to check out Eilidh's Instagram reels, because they are the best thing ever. And I'm not just talking in recent weeks. Some of the training that you guys were doing in your house during lockdown was just amazing, like trapping off your wall. And I mean, if you want a guide on how to get fit in lockdown, Eilidh has documented the whole thing, which is fantastic. I know you guys have to go, so congratulations once again. Gold medalist in the 470 women's class. I should say it the way that I said it when you got your medals. Hang on. Ready? Here we go. Gold medalist and Olympic champion, Great Britain, Hannah Mills and Eilidh McIntyre.
Yeah. Is that your British accent?
Nice. But is that a British accent?
Yeah, it was quite British, I thought.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You're very welcome.
You're very welcome. Yeah.
Love it.
That's my
Love it.
victory ceremony accent.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks,
No,
Nick.
you're welcome.